All right, you guys, I am so excited to finally have Charity Anderson here. I think we've been trying to make this happen for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you because I think we went back and forth for a solid 3 months, if not more.
Yeah.
But who knows? Well, welcome anyway.
Thank you.
You were just saying, I was talking to you briefly because I was saying, we're locked down here in LA. Things are a little bit easier in Utah, aren't they?
Yeah. Things are a bit more open. It hasn't been too locked down, so we've been fortunate to, be able to do things. So it's been great. It's been honestly not that bad.
Have you been able to go back to the dance studio? Because ours have been open and now they're shut again. So.
Well, yeah, ours are open. They've been open for a while. I'm not sure how it's gonna be in a couple months, but yeah, everyone's open with their studios. They're still doing some like teachers. They'll like do Zoom. They'll have like a screen and everyone's like watching in the studio, but all our students are back in the studio.
That's amazing. Did you do a lot of Zoom classes when everything was really shut down?
Yeah. I did a lot of Zoom. It's difficult because if the Wi-Fi is not perfect and it's like, can you hear me, can you see me?
We just did that a moment ago too. I was there and then I wasn't.
A little bit of a struggle, but we did it, we do it.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too because as dancers, dancing in maybe a living room, not everyone has a studio at home, or finding that surface can be really tricky.
Yeah, it is.
What was the hardest thing for you? It's sort of dancing from home versus in a studio all the time.
Well, I'm actually very fortunate that I have a studio connected to my house.
Oh, it's connected to your house? Like I knew your mom had a studio, but I didn't realize it was like attached to your house.
Yeah, it's attached. It's a separate building, but so there's 3 rooms. There's a big room and there's 2 smaller rooms in the basement. But yeah, I'm really fortunate. I feel really blessed that I've had this during this time.
That is a dream, honestly. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I feel bad. Like I feel guilty that I have it.
I know, but it's good because you know what? It's also motivation to kind of like stay in some type of dance shape because who knows when we're all going to be like, okay, great. You have to go right back to the studio. You have to go right back to work. You have to be ready.
Absolutely. Definitely did that. Definitely doing that.
Since 2020 looks a little bit different for all of us, how, what were your original plans for 2020?
Actually, at the beginning, I was trying to decide. So I was going to go on or do a residency with Derek Hough.
In Vegas?
So Vegas residency. And I was also trying to audition for So You Think.
Both of these. Charity, yeah. I feel really sad about both of these things right now.
I'm really sad because that would have taken my whole 2020. That was my plan. And I was very fortunate that I could do both because they were around the same time. So yeah, we were working through it. It looked like it was going to happen for both of them. And then it.
Yeah, this is tough. And you worked with Derek on his tour last year. In fact, I saw you guys at the Los Angeles stop, and I don't think yes, I did. And so I'm like, then I know I haven't told you this. I've told several people. I know I've told JJ, and I think I've told Audrey. That came at the end of the run when bodies are tired. Things don't get very clean always when you see tours. Like if you see the end of the run, it doesn't look as sharp as it did. You guys were spot on, so clean. I was so impressed.
Wow, that means a lot. Thank you. That was a show.
That was a hard show. And I was watching like some of the staircase and the way the set went. And you guys were just like off stage, change back on, off stage, change back on. And yeah. I sat in the balcony at the Orpheum. So you know that if anything's not clean in formation, I can see it.
Yeah.
And you guys looked incredible.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, how did you guys do it? Because most tours, and I'm even talking Broadway tours, everything else. How did you guys do it? Because that's total teamwork.
Well, every show without fail, we always had a tech run. We'd always run through, like, we wouldn't run through every single number, but we'd pick a few numbers to run through, every single time, just go through spacing. Even though we knew exactly the dimensions, we'd always go through, like, you know, we just really map it out. And Derek, honestly, he is such a guy that is about mindset and all of that, and really made sure that, like, we had it in our brains that, you know, these people haven't seen this routine. Even though we've done it 45 times, these people haven't seen it. You have to do it exactly like the first show. Like, imagine you're walking on the stage for the very first time. And so he would do like some quantitative things with us, and kind of every show he would always give us a pep talk. It was great. Working with him is a lot of fun and a good experience. It was definitely a great experience working with him.
He's a great leader. I think that that's what's really important. And I also think that, you know, there's a lot of pressure in having your name above the title as a solo tour. Obviously, you guys are there to support him, but people buy a ticket because they know who Derek Hough is, and they know who a lot of you guys are too. But I think that he knows that he has to deliver.
He definitely expressed that to us, and we definitely were there for him. And yeah, he let us know that he was like, you know, sometimes I get nervous, and we're like, what? But like, he definitely let us know that it was his first tour, and he really wants to make a great impression to every single show. And like, yeah,
I've got to imagine that also made an impression on you, because I mean, I cover dance, but I still look at Derek as like he's someone who has worked his way through the ranks, and, you know, he's up there, he's constantly giving. But the fact that he still gets nervous, I mean, he's human, of course, but at the same time you think, oh, once you get there, everything's fine. No, he's still human, and it's hard.
well, he definitely says, I'm not nervous, I'm excited, you know. Every show, calm and strong. That's what we hear around the stage. Calm and strong, calm and strong. We're always passing that through everyone. Because like, he has so much energy. I don't know how. He has so much energy. And so I guess like he definitely is excited. He doesn't say that he's nervous. He definitely puts the positive energy out there, changing from nervous to excited. But I mean, he has admitted that sometimes like he got a little bit nervous.
Okay, that's fair. I'm glad to know he's human and not just a superhero all the time.
You know, pretty much. But
Yeah. Every once in a while, he has that little moment of being human. Do you guys think if everything gets, I guess if conditions improve, 2021 is a possibility for the residency?
that's what he's talking about. Yeah, he let us know.
Hope so.
Like, it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year, but plan on 2021
Great.
or 2022.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
It could even be that far out. That's amazing. I mean, I sit there and I think today, our big Rose Bowl parade, which is January 1st, 2021, just got canceled. So I'm like, oh, we're already inching a little bit into the next year. So it's tough.
It feels like it's been forever.
I know. This is my guest room. It's now a TV studio, and I feel like I've lived here for the past 4 months.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is my living room. I'm here every day.
Every day.
And more than my kitchen, more than
This is me. I know exactly. I have like little stations along the way, like place for snacks, like place to rest. It's our new reality. I'd also love to talk about World of Dance, because season 2 with you and Andrés was spectacular. Hard to imagine you guys were in the junior category. It was your last year, right, that you were eligible for that.
Barely got on that bandwagon.
Now that you've had sort of like time to sort of let it sink in and what you accomplished, how do you feel about your World of Dance experience now?
Honestly, sometimes, like, I mean, it hasn't completely sunken in. I feel like it's crazy to think that happened. I often look back, I'm like, we did that. Like, yeah, honestly, I'm just so happy with how we did and where I've come with my life. And it's always it's what I've worked for my entire life. It's not necessarily the initial direction that I wanted to go, because I initially wanted to do So You Think You Can Dance.
Mm-hmm.
And this opportunity came up, and I took it, and it took me way farther than I expected, but where I had hoped I'd be, you know?
What I love about World of Dance too, which I think is interesting, is that it is. I feel like it's a bigger global audience, and So You Think You Can Dance. So You Think feels very American,
Yeah.
and I feel like everyone who has had the opportunity to do World of Dance, even if they didn't make it as far as you and Andres did, I feel like their profile and their platform grows because of it.
1000%. Yeah. If I wouldn't have done World of Dance, I wouldn't have would be known as much for sure. I'm I'm so glad I did World of Dance. Oh my goodness.
Season 2 is really good too. You guys had some great talent.
I'm a little bit biased.
I think about it because I've interviewed almost all of the acts on season 2, and there's, it's just at any moment, any of you could have won, honestly, because that's how good everyone was.
Well, the whole caliber of that season was really high.
Yeah, you should be really proud of what you guys did.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy with it.
Oh, good. So You Think You Can Dance. Well, I know you said that it was a dream of yours. Obviously, season 17 did not turn out the way any of us wanted it to, of course. But did you grow up watching the show?
Oh yeah. My family, every season, we watched every season, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I am like well-rounded in dance is because that's like something I was like, this is what I want to do, and I want to be ready for it. And my mom owned a dance studio, and I mean, she just kind of built me to be ready for that kind of show or that scenario. Um, and it's definitely helped me so much in my dancing and all styles. Um, but yeah, that was my dream growing up, was to be on So You Think You Can Dance. But then World of Dance came out, and I was like,
Well, maybe this.
that.
You never know when the opportunity is too, and so you think because there's that 18 age break, sometimes depending on when your birthday is, it doesn't work out that first year you turn 18.
What happened. That's kind of what happened to me. And because I was 17 and Andres was also 17, we're like, this is perfect.
Yeah, you're like, just do it.
Right now, do it. We had only been partners for a couple weeks too. So,
Are you kidding? It was
um,
only a few weeks before you started rehearsing before, and then you did the show.
we were initially going to audition for season 3,
Yeah.
um, because we only been partners for a couple weeks, um, and then see how we did and like regular competitions.
Mm-hmm.
But an audition opened up to send in a video because apparently it was late. But they said there's another opportunity to send in a video last minute, and we said, okay, let's put 2 routines together in a week and send it in. And then, yeah, 2 hours later, they told us to come to the live audition.
Wow. It's so funny because timing is such a funny thing. And sometimes you're like, we're not ready, but maybe you are ready, or this forced you to get ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah. And it turned out to be the right decision too, after all of that, which is incredible. So you think, what was your favorite season growing up? Who was the dancer that you always wanted to be, that you idolized?
Oh, there's so many. Oh, that is a really hard question.
I know. It's like,
My brother and his wife Ashley were also on So You Think You Can Dance. They made it to the finale. They were top 5 and 6. Um, it was it was season 6 that they were on.
which was the fall season.
I loved season 6.
Yeah.
There's so many. Travis Wall.
Season 2.
So many. Jenna Johnson actually was my brother's ballroom partner, and he auditioned her for her season.
Wow, season 10. Look at that. You guys, and Utah, you guys have such a huge legacy with So You Think You Can Dance.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's like the dance hub. Like,
It
but most people wouldn't think that. It's like, Utah? What's in Utah?
a lot of beautiful people, beautiful scenery, and great dancing.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
a lot of dancing here that people wouldn't typically think, but there's a lot of dancing here.
Yeah, I think that Utah, Salt Lake City just kind of being the hub of it all, but there's a big appreciation for the arts. And I think that that's incredibly important when you have a community like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's honestly incredible.
And then you have a High School Musical legacy too. So you guys have a lot of good things.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I always appreciate that. Obviously 2020 is a weird year for all of us. But what are some of your dance goals? Like once everything is back to whatever our new normal is?
I just want to keep performing as much as I can, explore different, I don't know why. I just want to keep traveling, performing and teaching. That's my dream for right now.
You're so versatile. I have to ask because obviously you can do all styles, but do you sing also? Would you be interested in Broadway maybe?
I actually have been interested in Broadway. If I trained more in singing, I have thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off Broadway show when I was 12. But
What
that's
show
about,
did what show did you do?
it's called Dance Star.
I love
Um,
it. Tell
and
us about it. I don't know about this.
basically, I played the main character as a child,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it kind of like shows her life growing up as a ballroom dancer, and she kind of she does like all styles, and then she wants to find a partner and finds a partner on the street and basically trains him, and they become professionals. It's the life of actually the creators of the show, Alec and
Oh,
Edica.
of
Um,
course. From
yes,
Dancing with the Stars.
yeah, they scouted. Actually, it's crazy.
Tell
Me
us,
and
tell us, tell us.
me and Andres, we did the show when we were 12. But it was after that year. We were ballroom partners when we were 8 to 12 years old, and
Mhm.
then we split up. Didn't really talk to each other much or see each other much. That's when he picked up contemporary when he was like 14. Um, and then yeah, we didn't really like associate with each other much until I randomly reached out to him to be my contemporary partner.
What was the thought? Like, did you have like a light bulb moment of like, hey, we used to dance great together, let's try this? Or were you trying to think through your head who might be a good duet partner?
So, because I mean, I had been watching because I've never really done a duet
Mhm.
before,
Mhm.
like contemporary. I've done ballroom since I was 5, but contemporary is much different. Um, so I wanted to go on the show originally as a soloist, but then I was like, I don't know if I'll do as well just because there's so many like amazing soloists. I want to do something different.
Mhm.
And so I was looking in Utah. I have a lot of friends. I mean, Ezra Sosa, Stephanie Sosa,
We love the Sosas.
Sosas. And I was just looking at all the boys, and I was like, I got some encouragement because Andres and I have a lot of the same strengths, and we probably are closer to the same style, that we can do the same style, um, than probably any other boy that I know in Utah. And so I just reached out to him. I was like, I think we would be a great match if you want to be my contemporary partner and see how we do when we compete, and then maybe audition for World of Dance if you're down for that.
I love it. Well, too, both of you have such an athletic style. So some of the tricks that you were able to incorporate, we wouldn't have been able to see some of that had you done a solo, or maybe you had match up with someone else who didn't have that same athletic type of performance.
Well, which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
for not being or dancing with each other for 5 years, it it was like a perfect match. It was crazy. He's an incredible partner. You don't really find that. I've danced with a lot of guys,
Hmm.
and it takes like a really great partner to really know how to work with somebody. And he's yeah, definitely he's definitely one of my favorite partners.
And the trust you have to have, because obviously you're flying through the air and they have to catch you, whatever it is, whatever limb or your body part, you need to make sure that they're there. So that's incredible when you're able to build that trust with a partner.
Yeah. It was kind of like instant trust because we had to go so fast. And so maybe that also helped. But
And you guys choreograph together too. I think that a lot of times the junior acts usually have an outside choreographer. I've been interviewing everyone from this season, so I've been seeing that quite a bit. That's another big skill that I don't think a lot of people realize. Oftentimes you don't match with someone else's choreography skills, and sometimes in the studio, you butt heads. But obviously, it worked out really well for both of you.
yeah, it was also timing. We didn't know if we could find a time with somebody, and we also thought, well, we know our style the best and we know what we kind of want, because we have tried. There were some times where we're like, we're kind of stuck, we need some help. And we'd have someone come in and they would give us some stuff and we wouldn't use any of it.
But that's actually, it's good to get outside opinions, because then when you realize, you're like, we're actually on the right track.
Yeah, we definitely, my mom helped us a lot, and we're like, Mom, we need you to look at this, tell us if it looks good or if it makes sense, so we had some outside opinions for sure. But yeah, all the choreography, we had some help from Rudy Abreu.
I love Rudy.
Jackie Royal.
Oh, you went to some big people. You didn't just go to like
for our 2 last routines. They helped us with our 2 last routines.
That's incredible.
That was really stressful.
Well, and I think the time crunch too, of like having to make sure you have everything ready for divisional final and world final.
Yeah. And also with my injury, kind of made things like, you don't really know what to do now.
It was your foot, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yeah, my dominant foot, I broke my big toe. So a lot of the things that I would typically be able to do and feel comfortable doing made it a lot harder.
Did you use your left foot instead? Are you that?
That's my left. It was my left foot.
It was your left foot. So were you able to adapt to the right foot as making it your dominant foot? Because some people are ambidextrous and can kind of do it, but.
Yeah, I mean, we did. For the first routine, it was definitely, because I was a little bit more nervous. I was like, I don't know what I can do, and it was such a short time. We did a lot of things on the right side, and they also said, like, this one can be more about Andrés. Like, it can be like his time to really shine. And Charity, you just be a queen, and literally, because it was about like a king or a queen. So yeah, that was that routine. And then the next 2, I kind of was like, you know what? We're fighting for $1 million. I can buy myself a new toe.
Gotta go all out. You really do. Yeah. Well, good. You're all healed, right? There's no residual effects, I hope.
Not too bad. I mean, it's still kind of janky, but
yeah, it's a nagging injury, as they always say.
Yeah, but it's definitely manageable.
Okay, good.
Yeah, nothing too serious.
Well, we're glad to hear that. No, it's always interesting too, just to hear, because I'm like, I don't think people realize, but everyone gets to the world final and your bodies are tired, you guys are exhausted, you have 2 routines to do, and the pressure's on, because hey, by the way, it's $1 million on the line.
Yeah. They were worried, because when I initially broke it, they were worried that I broke it in a different spot, and they thought, you might not be able to finish the competition if you want to have a long career in dance. And then I just thought, I'm not even gonna think about that. And then they said, okay, it's in a different spot, you can dance on it, but you should still be careful. But I was like, well, I can get surgery later.
When you're young though, it's like you think like, I'll be fine for the rest of my life, but as you get older, you're like, no.
Fear factor, I guess. I didn't have that. It's like, I just want to do it. I just want to go.
Yeah, because you don't want to have those what ifs of like, what would have happened if we had gone to the world final? We might have won. And that way you have no questions to answer anymore, because you did it. You went all the way through. So, which is so impressive. I know. And then you guys did the tour. So great. That must have been such a great year, because it's just like you film, then you start watching the show, and then you guys go on tour.
Everything like bam, bam, bam. Everything there. My whole 2 years were so chock full of incredible opportunities. So fun.
Yeah, and then to the Derek Hough tour, so no big deal.
Yeah. I lived a dream for 3 years.
Well, you know what? That dream's going to continue in 2021. I've got my fingers crossed for Vegas. I really want that to happen. I know. I'm ready. I'm ready, honestly. And you know what? Who knows with So You Think You Can Dance? I mean, it's so hard to say. But I think you'd win if you made it to the top 10. So I'll just throw it out there.
I hope I would make it to the top 10. I would want to do the tour.
Yeah, the tour would be super fun. You'd make it to the top 10. I'm going to tell you right now, you would make it to the top 10, and I think you would win the show. But that's just my opinion. I've covered many seasons, and I know your capabilities as a dancer, and you're very versatile and very talented. So
much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for finally joining me. I'm so happy we finally got a chance to talk.
Finally come.
I know. I'm sorry it's not in person, but I don't know when we're going to be all like, I've just been virtually hugging everyone. They hug. Thanks, Charity.
Of course.